Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave original. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We got some NFL coaching moves to talk about. We'll get to them in a second, and I'm going to be honest with you. We are currently recording at 9:21 Eastern time, and we're going to wait a little while before we talk about the coaches because, we want to give a little bit more time for people to get fired. All right, I don't know what this says about me, what this says about us, but I was watching the TV before we came in here. Adam Schefter having to get up and get off the set and go take phone calls in the middle of the show, which, I got to say is a little weird, but whatever.
Interesting television for sure.
It is, but the thing is, whenever he come back, it's real disappointing if somebody ain't get fired. And
right.
I don't feel that bad because they're going to get their money.
Correct.
Right? It's not, the problem with getting fired isn't getting fired. It's where my check at.
Yes.
Right? That's all this comes down to. Where my check at? And if they're like, yo, but the check's still gonna come, they're like, it's a big deal for your kids and everything. Oh, yeah, whatever, man.
When Pete Carroll gets fired in the next couple hours,
yes.
No one's gonna feel sorry for his family. He's fine.
Yeah. We ain't got time to wait for the sun to come up in Las Vegas before we start doing this show. I
Correct.
think we all feel pretty confident that he is going to wind up getting fired. But we'll get to the fired people in just a second. One of them we think eventually will be Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
John Harbaugh. Big difference. Boy,
yes.
This is the Justin Jefferson situation all over the game, except the consequences are much more serious in terms of what phrasing we happen to choose. But, we had talked about that Ravens-Steelers game. Well, I guess we didn't talk about it on the show because we just got off taking a couple weeks off. But we had talked about it beforehand, the possibility of a loser leaves town match in that Week 18 matchup, right? And it really came down to the last playoff spot was who was going to win that game and who was going to lose it. And I'll be honest with you. If the Steelers had lost that game, I don't even know if they would have let Mike Tomlin come and talk to the players. They probably would have because it would have been somewhat beneath his dignity to not allow him to do that. But they let Lamar and the Ravens just get huge chunk plays walking down the field on them in the fourth quarter in a way where if your job is on the line and these sorts of things happen, you're not going to have a job. Right? That's the game. That's how that happens to work. Instead, it wound up being the Ravens who, let a pretty nondescript offense take them down the field. And then we don't talk about this nearly enough, Ryan. I guess it's because we don't think about the Ravens as being one of these star-crossed kind of teams, and that's fine. But they got a long track record of everything going wrong at the end, right? When Lee Evans dropped that pass way back when, and then Lee Evans dropped the pass, and then Billy Cundiff missed the kick.
Right.
This kick that they just missed with the rookie in this game, Zay Flowers with the way he fumbled up the game, while they still had a chance against the Chiefs in 2023. What happened last year with Mark Andrews?
Right. And you have to remember, John Harbaugh has this insane record. I think it's now 18 double-digit leads blown.
Yes.
Or so, yeah, which he added to last night.
But if this was Boston in the 1990s,
right,
we would be talking about, if this was back in the day, man, somebody would have brought a goat to the stadium, all kinds of things. It'd have been the curse of I don't even know, right?
Best sports debate topic there is.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you believe curses are real?
Yes, it would have all been there for the things that had happened with them. And Lamar Jackson is in this somewhat interesting space to me. And I'm asking, I don't know if you remember this, okay? 2010 NBA playoffs, second round, game 5, Celtics, Cavaliers. It's hard to argue that LeBron
quits, yes.
Yeah, it's hard to say he didn't quit, right? It looked very much like he quit. He was so good that he looked quit-ish in game 6. And he had
with a triple-double.
Right. It's hard for me to say he quit when he got the triple-double, right?
Yeah.
But I saw where people are coming from. 2011, I don't think he quit. I just think they ran out of gas. It was all here. It was a lot for him. And that version of him reminds me a lot of what we've seen in Lamar Jackson and a lot of these playoffs where he's come up short, where you've seen the stress, right? You've seen him coming to the sideline and slamming the helmet and everything else, right? Like, he gets tight. I think enough has happened for us to say that with a measure of confidence. Last year against Buffalo was tight early, brought it back together. And I thought if you were a Ravens fan, you had to feel good about that, right? That he did not become imprisoned by whatever was going on in his head. He shook it off. And then, of course, Mark Andrews was like, I don't want to win. What's what you talking about? I don't want to win. It wasn't that. I remember people thinking that somehow there was a Trumpy element to what had gone on. I don't remember exactly why.
I don't remember either.
But it was a whole lot. I can't remember exactly what went down, but it was a lot of people who were saying that they thought that he chose country over party. He chose country over team. In that moment, I wish I could remember the details, but I remember, and somebody, y'all gonna get in these YouTube comments and y'all gonna talk about it, but I remember joking with people about it and then realizing in the replies that they weren't joking.
No, that's the thing when you start alleging conspiracy theories. There's always people who really believe it.
Oh, no, but it was tense times, Ryan. This was after the this is around inauguration. This is a tough situation for the people. Anything, but this game, Lamar Jackson. I saw a stat, and of course, this is this is what I call a database stat, where somebody just takes everything from the game, puts it into a database, and asks it to do calls and what's never happened before. But this is the first time anybody had taken the lead in the fourth quarter with 2 plays over 50 yards. And they still lost the game?
Oh, man, that feels impossible.
Now, I want to be very clear about this. Good on Lamar Jackson for making those throws, but it would be like me throwing the ball to somebody in my apartment right now, where nobody else is. Like Zay Flowers was butt naked open. I don't know what the Steelers were playing, right? Zay Flowers out there butt naked open, but the plays were getting made. The Ravens got it done. And that's why I'm saying that if the Steelers had lost that game, it would have been really hard not to fire Mike Tomlin. In fact, if I was the Steelers, I might have even considered being like, hey, everybody, fans, if you could please stay in your seats. We have a very special ceremony. Come on out of here, Mike. You didn't know we were going to do this. No. It's okay. Chill out. Look whose name is in the Ring of Honor.
I thought you were going to give him the watch.
Oh, I guess we could do that next. Hold on, no, we're not finished. Look at this. It's black and it's gold and it's got diamonds in it. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Come on. Bring your wife and kids out. Come on down to the field. Come, Dad needs you right now. Dad's gonna need a hug. Right? Like, you go ahead and do that right then and there. The players on the sideline, you do that shit like they did when Stefanski retired.
Yeah.
Remember when they lost?
Yes.
And then they still made the kids sit out there? Oh, my God. That'll never get old. Good
and
gracious.
I think that's interesting with Lamar, right, is similar to LeBron. We have all this simmering reporting about his contract and renegotiating and figuring out his future and his unhappy with Harbaugh. And then he comes out and has, a weird end of the season is a delicate way to describe it.
This is what I meant to say when it relates to LeBron. And I don't know if you remember this, but in 2012, where he was comically good, right? Like, they came off that lockout, and 2012 and 2013 LeBron James, it's like
2012 that's the 23 or 24 game win streak, correct?
I think that's 2013. The
2013 is okay. It's the second year, yeah.
Yeah, but it was what happened in 2012 though. They had a run of games because for those of you who aren't old enough to remember this or who weren't around, America has never been fixated on one sports team the way we were on the Miami Heat for those 4 years. Nothing has ever been the same. Like, they were the A1 on highly questionable, basically every game they played, unless it was the Super Bowl. Like, it was that level. But they were playing a lot of games that were coming down late, and LeBron was hitting a lot of game-winning shots, except they were losing the games. Right? Like, it was these shots with 2 seconds left, and LeBron is nailing them week after week after week, but none of them counted, at least in terms in the eyes of people who question whether or not he was clutch, because then they would come back and somebody would hit like a half-court shot, or like a fadeaway 27-footer.
Yeah, I remember this. I was in college, so I was watching a lot of NBA basketball and a lot of sports TV.
Yes. I mean, it just kept happening over and over again. And that's what it feels like now with Lamar. Like he got it done against Buffalo last year, but they lost the game. He kind of pulled it together against the Chiefs the year before, but they lost the game. And he made huge plays. He was treating the Steelers like they were like the Bengals, getting those plays, and they still managed to lose. They got them down there in the field goal range, and they still managed to lose that game. Like, that's a tough go. It really, really is. But either he or the coach has to go. I talked about this on Dominique Foxworth's podcast the other day. I believe, and if you have not seen the Mike Preston reporting, Mike Preston of the Baltimore Sun, he's talking about Lamar Jackson falling asleep in meetings and all the changes that the Ravens have made to work around him and how it's caused this kind of simmering sort of feud between him and John Harbaugh. And the truth is, if you have to pick one of these, it's no question. You take Lamar. This is it. Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, has no more guaranteed money left in his contract. I have seen the reporting that his mother, who is his de facto agent, would like for him to be back in Miami. I have heard other people say the same thing. I'm just saying, we trying to get back to Miami so we can handle some business. Unless your business is cocaine, nah, that's not wise. Just gonna throw it out there. That's not wise. So yeah, my guess, John Harbaugh is going to be out of there. And like, to take somewhat of an example from my own life, if it does happen, I spent a lot of time of my career working on Around the Horn. And it's obviously very, very important to where I wound up, a reason that a lot of you even have any idea who I am, right? It's a very important show to me. Around the Horn had been on for, I want to call it 21 or 22 years when they decided to let it go. And I would talk to Tony Reale, and I would talk to Aaron Solomon, who was the coordinating producer of the show. And when it was all over, I always said congratulations to them, but I never said I'm sorry. I never said that I felt bad about the show ending, because it's just like, what, we 23 years? You know what I mean? Like, you get 22 years in this business. I congratulate you on getting 22 years. Like, you can't really lock in on what didn't go right at the end when you got to do this for 22 years. You know what I mean? I did my show on HBO, and we got 2 years. And do you know how excited I was about the second? You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. John Harbaugh has worked that job for 18 years. Congratulations to you, big dog. If they let you go, it is not sad. It is not sad at all if they let you go. You have been victorious in the course of this. You might be a little bit salty that the guy who saved your fucking job 7 years ago is the reason that you got fired. Like, I know why maybe that wouldn't feel so good, but what did I just say? You know what I mean? Like, good for you. And by the way, remember this. When the Steelers have to play the Houston Texans at the crib, and Ryan, I don't think that's going to work out well for the Steelers at all. Like, no. Good for them that they'll get Metcalf back, but the Texans are your great example of a team that caught up to the point differential, right? A team whose record caught up to all the advanced numbers.
If I was Aaron Rodgers and I'm out there looking, not trying to get hit, the thing I don't want to see is Will Anderson on one side and Danielle Hunter on the other side, and Derek Stingley guarding my best receiver.
Yes. Oh, this is are these guys of LSU's backup team?
Well, that's two LSU guys, and I mean, Will Anderson was an Alabama All-Star.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Well, so like that is and again, D'Amico Ryan scheming up how to stop my very bland offense.
yeah, the Arthur Smith special. Hey, man, Arthur Smith figured out how to hand it off to the tight end now, boy. All right. Like, that's what he's got. By the way, I give Arthur Smith credit in the sense that I don't know if I was Arthur Smith, if I would have a real job.
No.
And for those of you who don't know, Arthur Smith's father is the founder of Federal Express.
I think it's his grandfather.
No.
It's the father.
Yes.
His daddy is.
That's his dad. And so it's so interesting because Arthur went to Carolina. He was at Carolina in the time that I was there. They had another son named Cannon, who I want to say played quarterback at Miami. And I don't know how good any of these guys were, but I imagine they had to be the hottest recruits because you're just like, yo, man, if we can get you on board here, we got a chance that they're going to give us some money, right? Like just, what's a little bit of money to him is all the money in the world to us. Like, just you watch out when Memphis football gets good, if it ever happens, it's going to be because of that. But anyway, yeah, D'Amico on one side, Arthur Smith. Look, say what you want about Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is not beating you with scheme.
No.
That's
on offense or defense.
Right. That's not the game that he plays. That's not what it is that he provides. And I think they are going to be out-talented in this game they're going to play, and their quarterback is 1,000,000 years old. Do not believe that he is out of the woods, but do believe this. I couldn't believe how happy he was about winning that division. Did you see how happy they were at the end of that game? Like, has he maybe recalibrated expectations that they felt like that was a win?
I mean, that looked like a guy who thought he was coaching for his job.
Yes.
Like, there was some rumblings about some of, whether or not they'd renew his contract, whether or not he was already looking at television as another option. Like, that looked like a guy who was, again, thought he saved his job last night.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that to me. We never know what they're doing. Every time we thought the block was hot on Mike Tomlin, it wasn't. They were like, oh, yeah, we extended his contract 18 months ago. Y'all ain't know? We're not. I do think the Steelers understand this part. If they would be changing coaches, it would be for the sake of doing so.
Right.
It be probably
especially this cycle when it's not like they could go out and like change their whole identity and get Ben Johnson like last year or something.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, who do you want to get? And B, and this is an important part. What makes you think they want to change their identity?
Right.
Like, the identity of this franchise is not a byproduct of Mike Tomlin. That's coming from up top. Like, Mike Tomlin was a 4-3 Tony Dungy sort of dude on defense, and they brought him in and were like, yes, you're going to run our defense. The defense that we've been running for all this time, it's a little cheaper to get linebackers than it is to get defensive ends, right? So yeah, we're going to do that. Like, you can make this change, but who's Mike Tomlin for them becomes the question. And you know what? Put a pin in that thought. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we get into talking about our Black Monday conversation. And I got to be honest with you, at least as of this moment at 9:38 Eastern time on Monday morning, Ryan, Monday ain't been as black as we thought it was going to be. So far, just Raheem Morris.
Yeah, I mean, there were some other people who, might go down, but they haven't gone down yet.
Yeah. So for the Black Monday with black in italics, we got, as far as candidates go, we got 6, but like, it's kind of like 5. Yes. I'm talking about Mike Macdonald.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike Macdonald is actually doing a very good job.
Very good job.
With the Seattle Seahawks.
My one coach of the year.
Yes. And has anybody asked Mike Macdonald of the Seahawks if he can sing? Anytime you're here. Anybody ask him to do that? No, just say. All I'm saying is this: if Mike Macdonald can sing like Michael McDonald, he might wind up on the Black Monday list in his own way, kind of like Michael McDonald did.
Michael McDonald still in the league, still touring.
Yes, he is. By the way, if Mike Macdonald can sing as good as Michael McDonald, we might trade Mike McDaniel for Mike McDonald and maybe even give you guys a late round pick to go along with it. But anyway, Mike McDaniel might still be keeping the job. And do you think Stephen Ross knew it when he hired him?
I'm sure he was told, but he might have doubted it.
He was told by who? The only person that can tell him is Mike McDaniel. Like, when they went through and he got the list from the Fritz Pollard people, and he was like, hey, you guys got a mistake here.
Yeah, someone's in the wrong column.
Yeah, it says Mike McDaniel. Like, what are you talking about? We just met him. He just came in here. Like, that's not. Like, no chance. Like, Mike McDaniel does not have to own this. I think we have to give him. I don't think people give him nearly enough credit for the fact that telling us that he was black, he didn't have anything to gain from that in his industry whatsoever. He chose to. We might go to his house and find out that, like, he might be like Louis Armstrong. Little did you know, he hates the white man's guts. Who's to say? I have no idea. Anyway, our other candidates in this discussion are Mike Tomlin, who not quite out of the woods yet. D'Amico Ryans, you straight. We saw what happened with Raheem. I feel like I missed one, but I'm kind of scanning through the list really fast. Aaron Glenn, who I really don't understand how you justify not firing him after the team didn't get no interceptions the whole year. And they mailed it in for the rest of the year, like when they traded Sauce Gardner and they traded Quentin Williams. But Ryan, I couldn't believe I've been living here for a long time. I could not believe how bad they were.
I mean, again, we already threw around the quit word. That team this month. I mean, I don't know how much I would try if Brady Cook was my quarterback, but that team.
Hold on, who was the quarterback?
Brady Cook.
Who is that?
He played for Missouri.
Like recently?
Yeah. I think he was a 7th round pick, but again.
Wow.
I mean, again, you went from Justin Fields to Tyrod Taylor to Brady Cook.
Yeah. Look, man, if you had asked me if Brady Cook was a quarterback for the New York Jets, the goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets, or the quarterback of the Akron Zips, it could have been. Yeah. You could have told me that he was the hottest quarterback in the portal. Hell, for all we know, in NCAA rules, he might be the hottest quarterback. He might be the hottest quarterback in the portal right now, baby. Like, yo, they offering me a little bit more money to go back to Mizzou. What y'all got to say about this? But my question, if generally speaking, and this is why the Raheem firing in Atlanta was a little strange, because they didn't quit.
They won 4 straight.
They won their last 4 to, by the way, finish in a tie for the division lead and while being eliminated from the playoffs for the last month.
Right.
That is a strange year as it went down. They have a weird roster of somewhat mismatched parts. They still haven't figured. They got a quarterback problem. I don't think there's any way around that. They have heavily invested in a man whose body probably can't get, and 2 men whose bodies limit what you could do. They did a great job drafting this year, and they got a lot of good players on defense. But if you're looking at that team, how exactly are you going to make things better? Now, from what I could tell, though, about the Falcons is, as is often the case when a coach gets fired and the record doesn't look so bad, the people who watch the team all the time are like, hey, it had to be done. Like they were a team that the more you watch them, the more you believe that they were not well coached. And you kind of know it when you see it. And quite frankly, Arthur Blank is too old to be trying to be patient if he want to see what happens. Like, he done already put himself in the ring of honor, for example, right? This is not, he ain't talking about no 5-year plan.
I mean, he famously didn't bring in Belichick because he's like, I don't want to, cycle through coaches 2 years later and look what they're doing now. They're cycling the coach and the GM.
Right. And by the way, they're getting hell for not hiring Belichick. And I'm like,
they made the right decision.
Say it again.
Sounds like they made the right decision.
Yo, that's what I was about to say. Like, if your look back on it was, we could have had Bill Belichick. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like, were you not paying in? Here's my question. What would Bill Belichick done to Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins in a quarterback situation? Like, what? I think the Falcons' problems are somewhat fundamental. And by the way, the Browns' problems are similarly fundamental. The Colts decided to keep Steichen and Chris Ballard. And I think in large part, you had to look at what are we offering here? Their quarterback situation is what you going to put Daniel Jones off the Achilles? You think that's going to be the answer? Or, I mean, the best path to Shane Steichen saving his job is Anthony Richardson. The problem is he going to be able to see? Like, literally, after what happened with his face getting busted up and everything else, like, who knows what happens next when it comes to this guy? The Falcons, Penix, I don't expect Penix to play next year. I mean, it doesn't.
You can only blow your knee so many times.
That is correct, right? I don't imagine Kirk Cousins winds up coming back. The Raiders, I got people asking me, they're like, yo, so this Fernando Mendoza, Like, is he what the Raiders need? And okay, I watched Mendoza. We'll talk a little bit more about that game later. But I watched Mendoza there, and Mendoza looks like something I've seen very many times, which is a very good college quarterback. That is not that. I know what the number one pick in the draft looked like. That ain't it. Like, even if you think Cam Ward's not going to be that guy, you look at Cam Ward with the Titans, and you're like, oh, that guy was the number one pick in the draft. Like, you see that. Mendoza, ugh, 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 I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do. But Pete's gonna wind up being out of there. Who else we think gonna wind up getting tossed on Nick Keister? Like, at least with the Ravens, you better jump on that job fast if you got that opportunity. Arizona, what are they gonna do? Like, I haven't heard about if they're gonna fire Gannon, but I don't know how much longer they're gonna keep doing that.
And apparently, since Cincinnati, Joe Burrow and the receivers really like Zach Taylor, and I don't know what kind of mid they enjoy.
Yeah, but I feel like those guys need to be happy they got their money. Yeah. And shut the fuck up and let's figure something else out. Can't believe that man's had that job as long as he has.
Right.
I mean, granted, he's been to a Super Bowl, but nobody came away from that like, hey, man, we've really been underestimating that Zach Taylor. No, that's not how that felt. Oh, Ty Bowles, I forgot. He was also in the italic Black Monday.
That's the one we forgot, yeah.
Yeah, but they say they're going to keep everybody.
Right.
Good for him, because he is not a great coach, but he is a much better coach than he was when he was with the Jets.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah. Like, he learned some things, and that like his OG is Bruce Arians, and he picked up some things. Anything? Anybody else? Are we sure Matt LaFleur gonna keep his job if they go out there? I mean, they were the 7th seed. If they go out here and lose to the Bears, are we sure?
And the game they're favored in.
Yeah. By the way, that job, I would jump on that pronto.
Right, and then another coach that might lose his job if they lose is Sean McDermott.
Yes. And they've given it as long as it can go. But they don't feel like a team that needs to fire their coach. But what else are you gonna do? Like, if you're at the point of trying to make a change to make this happen, I don't really know what else you're going to do. Kevin O'Connell is not going to get fired this year, but he's got to be on the hot seat for next year, right?
I mean, they're going to have to bring in another quarterback, and if he doesn't get it figured out, like the part of the reason they let Sam Darnold go, and someone else we're going to talk about later in the show, is Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer, and he might be, but I mean, he certainly didn't fix JJ McCarthy.
They hate that kid. Did you see that press conference, not this last game, but the week before, where they were where McCarthy did the gritty in the end zone, and apparently he had been told not to do that?
I did not see that, no.
Okay, so he did a gritty into the end zone. The coaches had told him not to do that. And he said, well, they told me not to, so that made me want to do it more. Son, you have to grow up, right? And then O'Connell's
I have that conversation every day.
Right? And so O'Connell is talking after the game, and he says something about, JJ, he always talks about that 40-yard dash that he brags about how he didn't have to run. And I heard that, and I was like, I said this on Fox Sports Podcast too. This is the way people talked about Austin Rivers when he was at Duke. I'm just saying that to say that they don't like him. And they are so sour on him in a way. The guy's only been there played for a year. He's been consistent. They are down on him. But what are you going to do to fix that? Who's Arch isn't coming out. And by the way, Nate Tice looks like he was right.
Right.
He looks like he's the best of those guys.
Did you see that run?
Yes.
He's not fast for a Manning. He's fast.
Dude, what people forget, he's not fast for a Manning because the OG Manning was fast. Every day, Archie Manning had to be so ashamed at how slow those last two boys were.
Right. Like, and the oldest boy was a wide receiver.
That's right. Coop, I said Coop was a wide receiver, and that is Archie's dad. But no, this is in the Archie Manning archetype, this right here. I think Archie was like, look, man, I haven't been able to feel my left thumb for 30 years because of all that running. Learn how to do the pocket, son. It'll be better for it's been so long, and Archie Manning is a generation or so removed from me that people just don't understand what the Manning thing actually is. No. Arch is in line with the actual factual archetype of the Manning quarterback, but he's not going to be in this draft. There's a small chance Trinidad Chambliss will be in this draft, but he's small. Like, what is that going to turn out to be? This is a weird year that if there ain't so many coaching jobs. But remember, Cleveland still got Deshaun Watson on the payroll next year.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned Cleveland.
Yes.
Stefanski got canned about a half an hour ago, and talk about a situation you do not want to walk into.
No, because, hey, man, Shador was good for vibes. He was bad at football. It just wasn't. Like, I've heard the people make the argument that in watching him that it's obvious that he shouldn't have been a fifth-round pick. No. I don't think that's true at all. It wasn't an optimal situation. As I said from the very beginning, of course he wasn't set up for success. He played for the Browns. No, it wasn't, but he did seem like he was better than Dylan Gabriel. That's what they offering you if you get that job. Maybe you're the team that decides to figure out a way to get Kyler Murray, for example. Like, I guess I still say Trey Lance is there looking for somebody, but there aren't many attractive jobs that are out there to be taken. And we will see if that results in teams deciding that they're not actually going to fire their coaches. Maybe that's what it is. But it's going to be bleak out there. However, it'll be bleak for a job that pay you like $8, $9, $10 million. It could be worse. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30, it's NBA Happy Hour on FanDuel, your pregame for the weekend. We're talking limited time specials you won't want to miss. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all dropping in the app during Happy Hour. So before tip-off, check the FanDuel app to see the week's special. Then make your move before the shot clock expires at 7:30 Eastern. It's the perfect way to start your weekend. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA.
21 plus and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kansas, Wyoming. Opt-in requirement. Awards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsduel.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
We all have goals for 2026, but who can help us achieve them? It's hard to find people who are so good at what they do. It's like if you're hiring, how can you find the best people for all the different roles on your team? Easy. ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. ZipRecruiter's matching technology works fast to find top talent, so you won't waste time or money. You can find out right away how many job seekers in your area are qualified for your role. In ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can instantly unlock top candidates' contact info. Let ZipRecruiter help you find the best people for all of your roles. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Just go to this exclusive web address right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Bomani. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
All right, Bo, quick stories from over the weekend. The transfer portal is open. Over 1/3 of D1 players are in it. Texas Tech just got the biggest recruit in the portal, a guy named Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati. What is your reaction to this?
Who? And look, this is the thing for me with the transfer portal, because it's added this interesting wrinkle in terms of being a fan or observer of college football. Like, it's free agency now.
Right.
But it's a different kind of free agency. It's free agency that anybody can choose to participate in. Like, anybody can get out here and just be like, oh, okay, I'm out here. The problem is, Ryan, I can't keep up with who all these people are.
Of course not.
I don't know who they all are. I don't think it's necessarily wise. Like I think that there's a segment of guys that this is your chance to get some money. And so you're going to go ahead and get, especially with a lot of these quarterbacks, right? Like you get paid more for being a college quarterback than you get paid for being a backup quarterback in the NFL. This is your chance to get that bread in an economy that's not going to provide many opportunities for you to get a couple $1,000,000 ever, right? So I get it. If you have your opportunities to go and to make the moves, but everybody's in this portal, man. Fran Brown, the coach at Syracuse, made the point like we're all swapping seconds, right? Your number twos for my number twos. There are situations that make perfect sense. For example, when Jameson Williams transferred from Ohio State because they had 3 first-round wide receivers over him, so he had to go to Alabama to be a top 15 pick at wide receiver. Yeah, we get that, right? If you are behind somebody at quarterback where you don't think you're going to get your opportunity to play, okay, cool. Go ahead and do that. I still think for most of you guys, you need to understand it. The long money for you is to stay at one place and build some relationships with some rich people. And those people will take care of you and make sure that you got a job for the rest of your life.
Rich people who are clearly out here willing to spend money.
Yes. But this is what it is now, man. The game is to get into that network and to have some people who look out for you. That's the way it goes. But I look up and it's these alerts and trackers and everything. Like, you know what it feels like, Ryan? It's like trying to keep up with recruiting.
Right, but it's even more condensed.
Right. It's even more condensed, but it's still just as many truly relevant people.
Right.
So if you are just as an observer, if you're trying to keep up with recruiting, you can really keep up with it on 2 levels. Keep up with like the top 100 list, kind of, sort of.
Or your school.
Your own school. Right. And then from your school, you will kind of find out where different people are going, like the offshoots of the guys that you're looking at. But that's about the only way that you can keep up with this. There's no way in the world I can keep up with every goddamn player in the NCAA because they all might be, including Division IIs and Division Is and everything else. I can't do it.
No, it's insane. It is. I don't think anyone, when they thought the transfer portal was created, that again nearly a third of D1 players would be in it.
And so, but what's going to wind up happening is 2 things. One, a bunch of these young guys are going to wind up when the musical chairs is over with no place to go, right? And I understand the argument that is made that a lot of these guys are being forced off their scholarships. No, I think some of these guys are being forced off their scholarships. I don't know how many of them are necessarily being told there won't be a place for you here. I will make the note, though, that there is one guy who has made it fairly clear that he's trying to stick with his own guys and not run people off of their scholarships. And the results haven't been that great. And y'all laugh at him all the time. And that's Dabo. Right? Dabo's trying to run a program that keeps it together the way y'all say it should be kept together. And he winds up being ridiculed. And then when the guys get out here, you mad at the other people for forcing them out. You understand what I mean? Bottom line, and I'll keep it moving from here. I said this from the beginning. I mean, you can go find, I've written this in places. You can find it 15 years ago, I was saying this. There were changes that needed to be made because the previous status quo was morally wrong and indefensible. But we were not going to like what we got as a result. And I personally don't like what we've gotten as a result. You could argue that in some ways the football and the sports have gotten better and they're, better players, guys are more likely to stay. Okay, cool. But it's too hard to follow, man. It's too hard to follow. And there is a certain charm to the idea of like going to senior night and being like, yo, I remember what it was like when he first got here. And this is what it is now. That's a big part of the appeal of this. And that's gone, man. Like, this is just something to watch. It's becoming more and more simply something to watch on television, which I guess that's what these conferences are, just basically TV negotiating packages, right? That's what it is. And you've taken something that has a great cultural significance, and maybe it will have this significance forever. We will see. But you just basically reduced it to a television show, or that is what we are in the process of doing. And I don't think that's good business.
All right, speaking of a big TV show, Indiana blew off Alabama's doors at the Rose Bowl 38-3. Bo, did this say more about Indiana or Alabama?
Okay. The answer is yes. This is what I did not realize, however, about Indiana. They are old.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Bill Snyder, Kansas State.
I mean, Bill Snyder almost like Gonzaga.
Yes.
Yeah, like just old guys.
Yeah, like now the guys can stay in school forever, because this is what is amazing about watching Indiana and what they've pulled off being Indiana is that it's Obi Trice's real name, no gimmicks. They are just lining up and hitting you, and hard, by the way. Like, and they got some orange some bitches on that team. That dude that broke Ty Simpson's ribs is 5'9", 170 pounds.
That's they used to have, they had a name for that. Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yes.
You know, but they are out here knocking the hell out of people. Like that's the game they're playing. They got they put one of those running backs in there, and I saw him going. I was like, oh, you're not getting him with no arm tackles. Like they were clearly better than Alabama. They made Alabama tap. Like, by the time the third quarter came around, Alabama tapped. They quit. They gave up. They were standing across from something bigger and better than them. It was bananas to observe and watch. So I do think it says something about Alabama. I think Indiana, they figured out an approach. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, but they're cleaning up in the portal.
Yeah, they got one of the big QBs from TCU.
They got a QB. They got a big time receiver. They got a bunch of other dudes that, again, I've never heard of these people, but apparently they're all very good according to the transfer portal tracker or whatever it is that they've got. But yeah, they've decided we're going to get big old dudes, because one thing that's very important in college football is discipline. And older dudes just a little bit more mature. And
big difference between 23 and 19.
Yeah. And I think that matters, right? In terms, especially if you're going to try to play the type of ball that Indiana is trying to play. I think that matters. As it relates to Alabama, Kalen DeBoer is going to really wish they had lost that game against Oklahoma. And he could have just gone and taken that Michigan job.
They were getting blown out, too. They were down 17-0 in that game.
Yes. Did I send you the guy from the message board that said that this shows how important coaching is? And what is the exact quote? I want to make sure I get this right, because it was just that funny. My man said, damn, I can't find it. But basically he said, we are being, as an Alabama fan, we are being abused by 3-star whites.
Right. Right. Like, just like, you know, was desegregation that important?
Yes.
Like, yeah. Like that's the kind of thing that they have Alabama fans saying now.
This is what has happened, though, I think, very clearly to Alabama. Yeah, here we go. This game shows how important coaching is now that college football is so even at the top. Bunch of 3-star whites abusing us.
Yeah.
There's no white people have such low athletic self-esteem. But what has happened, though, with the SEC, and I've seen people mention this, that these SEC teams have been getting mauled in the bowl games and in the playoff. And what the SEC used to have, where they had comparative advantage over the rest of the country, was really with defensive linemen. Big and fast.
Yeah, especially depth.
Depth. That's it. They could stack them. We're just wave after wave after wave of big, strong, fast defensive linemen. And now those guys are going everywhere. And that, to me, is the biggest change, is they're at the line of scrimmage, right? Like, this is not back in the day where, like, the Big Ten teams can win because they can put together good offensive lines. Like, they've been able to do that, but it's still the SEC where those big boys are just a lot more athletic, a lot more athletic. And now everybody's got a few of those, and that has completely altered the game.
I mean, look at Texas Tech. Like, that was their whole plan in the portal. We're going to get big, fast defensive linemen.
Yeah, they did. But you know what, though? They ain't have enough on the other side.
Right.
And they got mauled. Like, that was, for them, that was embarrassing.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Sam Darnold won't be playing this weekend because the Seahawks got the number 1 overall seed. He becomes the first quarterback to go have 14 win back-to-back seasons since Tom Brady. Bo, do you believe in Sam Darnold?
Nope. My brother sent me a text because he don't really follow that close. And he was like, Sam Darnold is, dare I say, cold. And I was like, hey, big dog, I can't even let you get out in the streets talking like this, man.
That's a full timeout.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No. I can't even allow you to put yourself in this position saying these things. He is talented. There's no question about the fact that he is talented. Did you think he was great in that game on Saturday, though? Because I did not.
He's had a bad last month of the year.
Yeah.
I
came away from Saturday impressed that Kyle Shanahan got that team as far as it did. Especially they had 11 starters on defense. I ain't never heard of 10 of them. And the 11th is that big old swole dude with the Arabic name that Patrick Mahomes put his shoulder in his chest at the goal line that one time. You remember that? That dude built like a tank and got run through by Patrick Mahomes. I can't believe that they have gotten this as far as they have with the players that they have left on that team. It has been shocking. However, Seattle, it's so funny. They're playing offensively, feels a lot like Pete Carroll football.
Yes.
Maybe not like.
Except they have, I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba is the best wide receiver that they've had.
Yes,
in a long time.
Well, since Steve Largent.
Yes, exactly.
That's how far back we're going. But the way they run the ball, like I don't know enough about schematics and stuff of the run game to be like, oh, are they running a Pete Carroll type of run game? No, but they're playing like Pete Carroll would prefer to run the ball. Play, run, and then when we need to, we'll make big play throws with our athletic, strong arm quarterback, which is what Russell Wilson was, just of a different size paradigm. But no, man, I ain't trusting no Sam Darnold, baby. Like, I'm okay with being second. You know what I mean? I ain't got to be the first one to get on board with this. Y'all let me know. If it happens, I will give you guys all the credit in the world. I promise you that I will. At the same time, I root for a team with Jared Goff as the quarterback, which is to say, I understand if you choose to believe in Sam Darnold because it beats the alternative. Belief is a choice. Belief is a choice.
All right, Bo. Getting the voicemails here. A lot of good ones off the break. Here's our first one.
Yo, Bomani Jones. This is Rod from Delaware. So check this out. I just got a real quick one for you here, right? So I'm always into what words enter and exit our popular lexicon or what phrases and stuff, right? And there's one that's been in our lexicon for a while and nobody really has talked about it much, right? That's been widespread. And that's people saying, I have the itis, right? Now, this used to be just a black folks thing. I remember the original comic stand-up where it came from. And then, as it gained its popularity, people just use the suffix, it's the itis, but people don't have the entire full term or original version, as we can put it, right? So I want to know, do people outside of black people know the full original terminology, or is it okay with using the suffix? Because, I feel if what people knew the entirety of it, it wouldn't be so widespread. What do you think?
That actually is not a question for me.
I don't know.
That is a question for Ryan.
I don't know. I do not know.
Oh, you do not know the origins?
I do not know. And I have a good rule. If I don't know the origins, I try not to use it.
Wise play. Wise play.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, so it's very similar to I've talked about this on this show before. Let us say that there's something that is broken in some form or fashion. And it needs to be repaired very quickly or perhaps haphazardly with a certain ingenuity. There is a phrase that one might use. Yeah. So similar to that, except it's the itis.
Copy.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Bamboozled with the character named Sleep and Eat.
Yes. It's been a long time, but yes.
Yes. So we're in line with that. And so to answer your question, brother, I assure you some people know exactly what they're saying. Some. But also, this is a dangerous thing of never forget that they can hear you when you talk. And they're kind of like AI. They be learning. They be soaking up game. Now, don't get me wrong. They use it in clumsy ways that might make you want to throw them out the window. But they can hear you.
All right, here's our next one.
Bomani, Ryan, this is Brady from Montana. Thanks for taking my call. Though we entertain ourselves with the likes of Con Knipple, and though I appreciate the recent reference to the infamous Peterman, I would like to lend my support to your years-old pronunciation assistance for the quarterback who plays on the practice squad for your Detroit Lions, the young man who goes by the name of CJ. And for those who contend that his last name is Beathard, I must also assume that they think the collection of staff and editors at a magazine is called a mass feed. And when their kids are being annoying and won't leave them alone, they refer to them as little shafeeds. Bomani, I, like you, am a beat hard truther. Keep preaching the gospel. And when the Providence Friars make the NCAA tournament and their 7-footer from Latvia wearing number 17 hits a game-winning shot, you know where I'll be.
I have to be honest with you, Ryan. I don't think that this is my gimmick, but it may need to become it.
Yeah.
CJ beat hard. I hadn't really
and it's a good bit.
I had also need to go find out who this guy is now at
same.
At what you call it?
I thought that was a reference you would understand, but
I ain't gonna lie to you, right? Maybe, just maybe, I got so much clever in me that I can't even keep it all straight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. Every now and then, I saw somebody on the internet the other day complaining about some blog post I wrote like 15 years ago, and the post says something like, "Remember when Bomani doubled down on this?" And I wanted to comment underneath, I don't remember when I did that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea. I can't keep all this stuff straight. All right, buddy number is 17. Oh, have you looked up number 17?
I have not.
Everybody needs to look up number 17 for Providence basketball. It'll ruin it if I try to say it, and it'll ruin it if I spell it. You just need to look at it, and
just
I will
trust
say
us.
To Brady from Montana, good call, brother. Good call.
All right, here's our last one.
Hey, Bo, this is Bert, long-time listener, first-time caller, in Raleigh, by the way, in Dayton, Ohio. My question is, if you had to build an all-star ensemble similar to the Player Haters Ball, who are your 4 haters you're picking to go with you and why? Who's going to be your Buck Nasty? Who's going to be your Silky Johnson? Pretty, or whatever Ashley Larry name was, and then the Asian dude. Who's going to be your starting 5 as your Player Haters Ball? You can even be time traveling haters, and where would you go and do the most hating? Thanks.
I mean, the truth is, brother, I don't even know if I need 4 of them. I just feel like I need 1. He'll be tomorrow's guest, by the way. Joe from Missouri City is. But the thing about Joe, and this is very important to note, Joe does not do it for recreation. Like, when Joe get to hating, it's because Joe mean it.
You don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
That's right. Like, and by the way, once Joel starts, like, it ain't stopping. Right?
I see Joel on Twitter.
Yeah, he's way high on the list. Rest in peace to Billy Packer. Billy Packer was definitely very high on the list of haters. Trying to think who else it is we might throw out there. I mean, truth is, whether you think he was justified or not is its only discussion, but I don't think anybody will never hate it harder than Pop. Like, to this day, I imagine if it was your job to produce Pop on Hit 'Em Up, like, all right, I need you to do that again. He can't do that again. He just passed out. He just fell out in the corner from hating so hard.
My historical hater was J. Edgar Hoover.
That's an all-time.
That is an all-time racist, creeds,
yes,
genders.
Hey, look, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. J. Edgar Hoover had that job for 50 years.
Yeah, you just got through reading the Hoover book, right?
Yes.
Did that book get into the lie it appeared that he had been living? Well, 2 of them.
The main one, yes.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what the main one is anymore.
Well, the main one is his live-in boyfriend.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking about the other one, which is, in that day and age, that's a black man.
Oh yeah.
I
did not get into that one.
Yeah, as I was talking about the black part, I completely forgot about the whole other thing.
Yes.
Like the gay wear women's underwear.
Yes.
Type stuff.
Yeah. And they had the live-in male assistant for 45 years.
Yeah. No,
and
that's
then the 19 and then from the 20s to the 70s.
Yeah. It is amazing to think that people who were like adults in the 20s were still around in the 70s.
Yes. And still had the same job.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's George Washington.
Yes.
On our hater list.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. Happy New Year to you all. Speaking of which, Ryan, I don't know if you know about this thing I'm about to do right now. Do you know about this thing I'm about to do right now?
I do not.
I have a good friend named Ryan Cortez who hates being told Happy New Year too long after the New Year.
That's the Larry David bit.
Yes, and so every year I call Ryan. Let's see if he'll answer.
Don't even say that shit. Don't even say that shit. I'm fucking dead.
What?
Say what you're about to say.
Why you approach me with such hostility with the first time that we have talked this year? Even what?
Yeah, and I've been waiting for this.
How you been, brother?
Go ahead. Say what you really want to say. Not that. Go ahead.
Happy New Year, man.
God damn it. This is the thing. You would have been better off calling me and just saying, fuck you. That is the point of saying Happy New Year after January 1st. You know that.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is to share my cheer with you.
God damn it.
Hold on. At least this year I did it on, was it today, the 5th?
A little more respectful than doing it on the 12th, admittedly.
It's the first business day of the year.
In my record book, after January 1st, you're not allowed to say it. You get 1 day.
I love you too, man.
All right, love you too. Be good.
I know.
Next year.
Yep.
When you said he hates it, I was like, okay, I understood. I was like, I thought you just didn't thought was annoyed by it. But he sounded actually mad. I mean, I don't know.
That's Ryan Cortez default setting. Ryan probably handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us. Hit the voicemail line 323-596-7767. Give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.